So when it comes to Halloween, big deal for you or not really?
I would say like as a kid, Halloween was super big for me. As I got older, not so much, but now I definitely am in a place where I'm trying to like get back to my youth. So Halloween is something that like I'm trying to like really get into this year. Cause last year I dressed up and shit, but like I didn't really go anywhere. So this year I want to do something. Like,
Why didn't you go anywhere?
I don't know. I don't remember what exactly I was doing last year, but I know that I probably was just like not in the mood to be out.
When it comes to Halloween, okay, costumes, how serious is costume planning for you? Some people do it in advance, some people last minute.
Um,
And because, you know, like you said, it was a big deal in the past, but now you're coming back to your youth. This question or any of the following questions could deal with the past,
yeah.
you know.
Okay, well, yeah, like then, so in the past, yeah, Halloween was definitely like a really big deal to me. I think I would prepare like a week in advance at most. Like, I wasn't the type of person to be preparing for Halloween in like March. Like, I just wasn't that. But yeah, and then as time went on, it kind of just went to like, oh, today's Halloween. Like, what am I going to be?
What costumes have you dressed up in the past as, whether it was as a child or an adult?
Damn. I've been Ariel from Little Mermaid because that's my middle name. So I think I was her for like a few years when I was younger. I remember being a lion. I was a robot, I think, before. I was
Okay.
a dog, a vampire. I've been a few things. Yeah.
Which one received the most attention out of all those costumes?
Probably this because I just recently went to like a cosplay party, and so I dressed up as, I can't remember her name, but it was the female dog from the Goofy movie.
Okay.
And so I had this like really cute red wig, and like I curled it and like styled it the same way, wore all black or whatever. And that one I got a lot of attention. But then probably the runner up would be the lion.
Good attention?
Oh yeah, definitely.
And what drew you to some of these costumes? Obviously, Ariel's self-explanatory, but like the ones that got you the most attention and the runner-up, what drew you to those maybe specifically?
The Goofy costume was like a couple of things. My boyfriend and I, like, we were like, okay, we're gonna do the Goofy movie or whatever, because that was actually a last-minute costume as well, but it was something easy that both of us could do. And then the lion, I don't know, I think it was just something I wanted to do, and I was just like, I'm gonna do it.
So you and your boyfriend had matching costumes that year.
Yes, it was great.
Has anyone ever dressed up as you before?
I don't know, but that would be cool. Like, if somebody dressed up as me this year, I would be like, wow, what the fuck?
What would that costume look like?
Mm-hmm.
Like, how would somebody dress up as you? Is it something significant?
Definitely the nails.
Okay.
Nails gotta be long, gotta be pointed. Definitely gotta have like a baby doll vibe in the face. You know what I'm saying? Like, you gotta look like a little like a doll almost. Like, wild color hair. I don't even care what color. It could be white. It could be black and white, red, pink, purple. I'm trying to think of other colors that I've done. Blue. So pretty much any color hair. Like, just go crazy. And as long as you got your little pendants and shit on, I feel like people will notice me.
Now, trick-or-treating, that's something that happens on Halloween. Craziest thing you received trick-or-treating before? Anything out of the norm? I've heard some crazy stuff in past interviews. I don't know if you've received anything crazy, though.
I've gotten a condom before while trick-or-treating.
You have.
Yeah, that was weird. Only because like I guess I was like fairly at that age. I was like 15, 16 or whatever. But yeah, that was like the weirdest thing I think I've ever received in like a little gift bag of candy was a condom.
You think that was an accident?
No, because like other people that I was with got them as well. So I feel like whatever parent that was, like that was a tactic. that they had for Halloween.
So you didn't know you had gotten the condom then and there. It was only after, I guess.
Yeah, it was like once I was going through my bag, I was like, oh shit, a condom.
You remember what kind it was?
No.
Just curious. When it comes to trick-or-treating, favorite Halloween candy? What's the one thing you're digging out first or looking for?
Now I would say it's a little harder because I've transitioned into a plant-based diet.
Okay.
So I would say before though it was Kit Kats. Kit Kat was like my go-to candy for Halloween.
Are there plant-based Halloween candy alternatives? I don't even know if you've even researched it, but.
See, that's the thing. Like, I haven't as far as like handout candies go. Like, I do know there's different websites and stuff that you can go to find like candy alternatives. But as far as like your traditional Halloween handout candies, I personally haven't found any. I do know that there are a couple of generic candies that are just vegan by chance.
Accidentally vegan.
Yeah, like Oreos and shit, like stuff like that. Like some of those shits be accidentally vegan. So, yeah, but I haven't really done research as far as Halloween candies that I can have.
How long have you been plant-based for?
I started the transition in high school, so I went vegetarian first, and that was when I was like 15 or 16, so like 5-6 years ago is when I started. And then vegan, like plant-based, is I want to say like 4 years now, 3-4 years. So it's been a little while, but I'm still definitely learning and still in the trial and error phase, I feel like, because it takes a long time to really know like everything that is and isn't vegan or plant-based.
What led to that?
It's actually funny because like the first time I really wanted to go vegan was because of Ariana Grande. Like in high school, she was one of the artists that like I really was listening to, and I think she did it for like diet reasons, but I was just like, oh my God, like I want to do it too. And then there was also a small part of me around that time that was like not feeling comfortable with eating meat anymore. I didn't really know why, but I just started thinking like, I don't think I want to do this anymore. And so I started doing research, and just the more I learned, the less I wanted to eat meat. And so, yeah.
I see. Now, okay, back then when you were into candy and you weren't plant-based, what was the worst thing that you despised when it came to Halloween candy? Maybe you left it at the bottom of the bag, you couldn't stand it.
See, it's not even in my memory. That's how bad I didn't like it. Like,
And that's okay too.
I can't even remember like the worst candy I've ever gotten because I think it would just stay at the bottom of the bag.
Ever passed out candy yourself?
Yes. That was actually one thing that I enjoy about Halloween, I think more than going out and trick-or-treating is like giving out the candy. Because the kids are so cute, like, oh my God, the little costumes that they be coming in and ringing the doorbell like, trick-or-treat.
Now, are you giving them accidentally vegan candy, or are you giving them
I
plant-based?
don't know if I'm accidentally giving them accidental vegan candy, but I'm definitely, this year I want to like do better at handing out, healthier treats for the babies.
Now, what about this? Haunted houses. That's a big deal for some people during Halloween. Is that something you're into or no?
That is something that I am not into, but I know that this year I'm going to be forced into it because my brother and sister and boyfriend and friends, like they all want to go. And I know, like not one of them is going to let me stay home for that. So I'm terrified. I personally don't understand why people go and pay to be scared. Doesn't really make sense to me, but whatever.
Well, some people pay. Some people get invited. Somebody paid for them. So
this is true. Like some people don't pay, but like I just don't understand like purposely putting yourself in like a situation like that. But hey, it can be fun.
Or maybe it could be a date kind of thing, especially when, I don't want to say an icebreaker, but maybe two people are getting to know each other. You get scared, you're holding, touchy, feely,
That's
kind of.
cute. That is cute, I guess.
That could be a
like,
thing to do.
Yeah, I guess for me, like that just wouldn't be a first date thing because I don't think you would like.
Well, I
me
didn't say
after the
first date, but it could be as you're getting to know
that's
somebody.
fair too. Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
Maybe you haven't even gotten to the touchy-feely stuff. This is the icebreaker to it.
I don't know. He might end up getting punched if it's me. if I get scared enough.
Have you gone to a haunted house before, though?
Yes, I have, and I had a terrifying experience. It was in, I don't know why my mind is going blank. Navy Pier, Chicago. Navy Pier. Oh my gosh. So there's this one haunted house, and it starts off in an elevator. And so like you go in and you get on the elevator. They do like the little introduction or whatever. But then like the elevator starts to break down. Like you don't even get into the haunted house before your heart is like racing. And it was one of those haunted houses that like once you're in, you can't just leave or come out. Like you gotta go through the entire thing. So yeah, after that I was just like, I don't understand why people do this.
Was that the only house you've ever been to?
No, but that was definitely the last one.
Was that the best one you ever been to? Or scariest one you ever went to?
Oh yeah, scariest. Because I was gonna say it's hard for me to say best. But yeah, that was definitely the scariest.
Give me a review of that house. What did you
Um,
think? I mean, obviously, you know, you were scared, but overall, how would you judge it? How was the experience? You know, somebody watching, maybe thinking about going to that same one. I don't know if there's a name for it, or is it the only one on the
It was
pier?
a long time ago. Like I was younger. Like it's been a long time since I've been to a haunted
Oh, okay. I
house.
thought this was something recent.
No.
Oh.
Like this is a real fear. But I would assume that it's still there. They have it around the Halloween, like every year. Just go to Navy Pier and check it out, see if it's still there. I'm sure they have the fun house though, because there's like this little fun house they also have that's there all year.
Is the fun house scary?
No, that's fun.
Okay. Now, there are different levels to haunted houses too. Some are man-made haunted houses. You know, they spook you, scare you, make you jump. Then there's others a little bit higher on the level where you have to sign a waiver before you enter. Have you ever done one of those type of houses?
No, and that is the type of haunted house my family wants to go to, and I don't understand why. It's like, why do you want to go somewhere where you have to sign a waiver to participate?
Anything crazy ever happen with any of your haunted houses experiences?
Besides like emotionally and internally, no. But
Okay.
for me, yeah.
Now, what about this? Sometimes during the Halloween season, obviously, horror movies are a big deal for some. Scary movies. You into horror movies or no? You're wearing a horror movie outfit.
I was gonna say it's totally like all my boyfriend. He's definitely the movie guy. He went to school for film, so he's definitely the one that like showed me all of the classic horror movies. Of course, I knew about them, but I was never like a big movie person until him. So yeah, this year for Halloween, like I'm definitely watching all like the old scary movies, new scary movies, all that.
In your opinion, though, from what you've seen thus far, what's the scariest movie of all time? Whether it was something that got you as a kid or even your age now.
Well, the one that got me as a kid is not a scary movie. It's Titanic. But one horror movie that gets to me like still to this day, probably Saw, just because of how like vivid all the imagery is.
Like
that
the
one
original
is-
Saw or one of the...
All of them, honestly, but definitely the original. Like the original Saw is like, what the fuck? Like that's fucked up. But like all the rest of them are still like, okay now. Like why are you guys going this far? But yeah.
What happened with Titanic?
It was the fucking sink shipping, man. Like I was really, really young when I saw Titanic. Like I personally feel, and I say this all the time, I was too young. Like I was too young to watch it. I was too young to understand that it was a movie. And even though it was based after like a real event, like I was still too young to understand that like all boats or ships aren't like that. So like, I don't know. I just went through all my life feeling like that's what happens on like all cruises. It's like you're just gonna get on the ship and you're gonna go for a certain amount of time and then you're gonna die. I know that's not like that now, but the fear was just so like deeply installed in me, like at a young age, that it's like genuinely like boats are a fear of mine now. Yeah, like I will not go on a cruise. Not happening.
Do you want to break that fear though? Have you ever thought about maybe seeing somebody professional that may help you overcome this fear, or you don't even care about going that far with it?
You know, that's the thing. Like, I'm all about like self-realization and like self-love and working on yourself and overcoming fears. But that one right there, I don't know, man, because it's just like there's planes, like there's ways that I can get over the ocean, you know, and then it's also just like, I don't know. I feel like if I was supposed to be in the ocean, like I would have been a fish or a dolphin or a whale. Like I'm only supposed to enjoy it so much, you know? So I don't know. I want to get over it, but I don't know. I'm like really scared of boats. I'd probably cry like if I got on one right now.
I know you have a fear of boats, but what about water, period?
No, and that's the thing. I love water. I love being at the beach, all of that. But it's just like once I get past, I guess, like a certain depth, and like that's when I start getting like, all right, guys, like now we're going into no man's land. Like this isn't my home. This is like a whole nother world. I just feel like part of it is like imposing in a place that you weren't supposed to be in the first place, you know?
Do you know how to swim?
Yes, I do. I'm a fish at heart.
Now, what about this? When it comes to Halloween, question, do you believe in ghosts?
Yes, I definitely believe in the supernatural. I believe that they're around beside, like, off of Halloween as well. So I am one of the believers that, like, Halloween is a chance for both worlds to kind of, like, integrate and be together on that night or whatever, especially if you plan out your night to be that way, you know what I'm saying? Like, you put that intention and whatever. I definitely feel like Halloween is a magical night for the underworld.
Ever had a ghost encounter?
Yes, I've had a few. But I don't know. I don't really like to use the word ghost. I prefer like spirit rather, because I feel like ghost puts like a negative like connotation to it in a sense for some people. But yeah, I've definitely come across like a few spirits.
Is there one experience you can talk about out of the ones that you've had?
Yeah, so there's this one time like I was basically lighting an incense or whatever in my bathroom, and I had just got done like meditating, doing yoga or whatever. So like the energy was like really high where I was at the time. And so I was in the bathroom and I was lighting the incense to get in the shower. And you know how like when you let go of the lighter, like the flame goes out. It doesn't keep going. That's pretty much impossible. So I light the incense, I put it down on the counter, and I walk out of the bathroom to like let the smells go or whatever with the water as it's running. And I'm in the kitchen, and all I hear in the bathroom is like this big whoof. And I run back to the bathroom, so like, what the fuck was that? So I run back to the bathroom, and it's like a flame about this high, just on my sink from the lighter. And I was just like, what the fuck? Like, I didn't do anything for any of that to happen. My lighter was nowhere near like anything that was already lit. The incense wasn't near it. Like, and it's crazy because I still have the lighter to this day. Like, the top half of it is like melted off. Like, it didn't explode or anything like that. And then, I don't know, after that, like, I kept having weird encounters like for the rest of the day. So after that, I was just like, yeah, I definitely encountered something right there. I didn't physically see anything, but yeah, that definitely was weird to me.
What age was this?
This was like last year. So I was like 20. I wanted either 20 or 19 or 20.
Was that the only encounter or experience you had in that location?
No. I had another experience. It was like small stuff. Like I would see like figures, stuff like that, like normal. Nothing crazy. Nothing.
Seeing a figure isn't crazy?
I don't think so because I believe in them. So it's like, for me, it's not like one of those things that's like, oh my God, like what the hell's going on? It's just like, okay, like you stay over there, I'll stay over here type of situation for me. So.
You see a figure, do you talk to it? Is it just a mind thing? You just acknowledge seeing it?
I think for me, because like it's also like a situation of like if you're ready to engage. So I'm not personally. I don't feel like spiritually I'm as advanced as I should be to be dealing with spirits and stuff like that. I know that I see them. I know that I feel them. So when I do and I feel like they are around, like I'll say my piece. Like I mean no harm. Like I don't want no problems. Like it's all good over here. And then I go about my business. Like I don't start lighting candles and trying to invite them to my home, like, cause I'm not at that level. Like I'm not there with it, So I don't play with that at all.
When you see a figure, though, what does that look like? Somebody watching this never had an experience like that. Are you able to describe that?
I think it depends on who you are as a person. Sometimes for me, like, it will be, I don't know, like, only somebody who's experienced it understands the term, like, blacker than black. Like, have you ever, like, seen a color darker than black? Like, that's it. And it's just so vivid. Like, it's so weird. It almost looks like a person, but it doesn't look like a person. Sometimes it could just be, like, I don't know, like this thing of light. Sometimes it's not even, like, a full figure. So, yeah, I think it depends, honestly. I don't think spirits or energies like have or take this one form. So.
Has anybody else in this same location had any of these same experiences or encounters as you? Or are you the only one?
Not in like the same specific location I was in, but definitely the people around me have experienced like other things similar.
Now, let's just say somebody watching this that doesn't believe in spirits and things of that nature, that might just think this could be your mind playing tricks on you. Is that a possibility or no?
I think it's always a possibility to like overthink a situation to the point where you're coming up with like scenarios that don't actually exist. But I would also argue that there's a lot of things that I personally don't believe in that somebody else may believe in. And I just feel like if it works for that other person, then like it works for me. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm worried about myself. If you don't believe in crystals and meditation and all that, then that's fine. But like it works for me. It makes me happy. So like I can't do nothing about that. I'm not hurting you. I'm not doing nothing to you or myself or like people that I care about. So it's like, can't do nothing about it.
Now, what about this? Okay. One more question about the spirit stuff. Are you still at that location today, or have you moved locations since?
I moved. Yeah, I moved, but it wasn't for that. Like, I wasn't scared.
Right.
Yeah.
Just curious, does this spirit, these experiences, do they travel with you to the next location? Have you experienced similar or at another location, or no, you haven't since you've moved from that location?
I've like experienced like weird things since I've moved out here to well, I don't even like to call them weird, but like I've had experiences since I moved out here. But I don't know, that's kind of a hard question because it's like some I feel like yeah, they do follow me, but then there's like also this thing of like I also believe in like the spirit of people that are actually alive follow me around. You know what I'm saying? So I feel like certain people that I've met in the area that I was living in when all that other stuff was happening, I kind of feel like some of their energy has followed me into this new life that I'm living. And that's kind of why I'm making certain decisions that I'm making, my little influences here and there. So I feel like spirits and energy, like I don't feel like just the ones that aren't here with us physically anymore are like capable of following us or staying attached to us. And then some of them don't. Like some of them, I've had that one encounter and then it was just like, that was it.
Now, what about music? Okay, during Halloween, do you have a favorite Halloween song? And when I say Halloween song, sometimes they're not even a song about Halloween, but it's a song that gets played during Halloween.
True. I don't think I do. I don't think I do, and I'm kind of disappointed to say that I've never thought about that. But I don't have a favorite Halloween song.
Ever made a Halloween theme song yourself?
Actually, I just recently did a song it has a very like Halloween vibe, and I'm thinking about dropping it like for that around that time.
Is there a title for it yet?
Not yet.
Care to share what the song's about specifically?
The song it's not about Halloween, which is very ironic. The sound of it though is very like eerie as far as the music goes. But it's really just about like telling people to like back off me for a little bit, like let me figure my shit out. Like, it's really about me coming into like myself as a woman, a grown woman, and like earning that respect of like, this is what I say, so this is what's gonna go, at least for my life, you know?
Ever used the Halloween release date for music before?
No, I haven't. And I want to, but this year I'm probably not going to because a very close friend of mine is dropping something on Halloween. And I care about that. Like as an artist, I know drop dates are very important, especially when it comes to like levels of like your fan base or whatever. So like I want to hold off on dropping music on Halloween. But I definitely think next year I'm going to have something like the day of Halloween come out.
Care to share the name of this person or no?
No, 'cause I don't know if they want like people to know that this is their drop coming up.
Oh,
So
okay.
I want to keep it like.
Oh,
yeah.
got you. I understand. Ever been booked or performed on Halloween before?
No, but we got what, two more weeks? Got 2.5 weeks? Maybe I could be.
Ever been arrested on Halloween or had to serve time in jail during it?
No. No.
Sometimes that happens.
I know, and that's so funny because I'm no.